Hey guys, Little Magic Every Day. I'm Spider, and today we're going to be talking about connecting to prosperity and abundance. And I'm going to try to make some sense out of this. I'm trying to read Christopher Penczak's The Witch's Coin, and I forgot to bring it in here with me to show you. But some of his books I've found they're really dense, and I have a hard time reading stuff that's really dense sometimes, especially if I'm tired, which I have been today. So I'm gonna try to make some sense of what I read. But I love his books. I love, I know everybody in the community, no, probably not everybody in the community, but many people in the community really love his books and get a lot out of them. And sometimes it takes me reading his stuff 3-4 times before I really get it. And I'm trying to read that one because it's one I haven't gotten to. Also, The Witch's Heart, I've got that one I haven't read yet. And The Witch's Shield, I have that one that I haven't read yet. And I'm hoping he's going to do one more because I feel like there's, it kind of goes with the suits or the elements. And I'm hoping that he's going to do a fourth one. But I tend to collect them more than read them. But I have so many books, guys. If I would spend all of my time reading, and no time doing anything else if I try to read all of them. But I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Let's get to it. All right. So, if you did any digging into your thoughts on prosperity, you may have found that deep down, what you really wanted was a sense of security. I think we all want, deep down, not to have to worry about money. We want to know that we can cover all our bills and still have some left over to enjoy life. So, what is the secret to abundance and prosperity? I'm not gonna lie, I don't know it. I don't have all the answers. But together we're going to explore this mystery. So, Christopher Penczak, in his book The Coin, says that the Devil card is a perfect representation of this mystery because as we are afraid of the devil, so too are we afraid of our worldly responsibilities. And the devil's got he's got the devil. He's holding a torch. And then it has the two people who look a lot like the lovers from the lovers card chained to the thing that he's sitting on. Well, this particular card, if you know anything about the tarot and astrology, is represented by Capricorn. And Capricorns have been known in the past to be very financially sound. They're very solid people. They, know how to save money and they know how to make money. I don't know if that's true. I know a lot of Capricorns. But, their sun sign is Capricorn. All the other signs really have an effect on it too. And so, but if we delve into our fears of our responsibility, of having to pay bills, all of those things, these self-imposed responsibilities, and yes, they are self-imposed. If you're like, well, I've got a house and I've got kids, you chose those things. You chose to buy a house. You chose to have kids. And, if that's what you want in life, if you want to have the house, if you want to have the kids, that's great. I always knew I wanted kids. And so, one of my main responsibilities my entire life has been to make sure that I have enough for them to have clothes and food and, just have healthier food and, just be happy and have the things that make them happy. And I think even though we don't have a lot, that we do pretty good. You know, my kids enjoy life and they have a lot of fun. And we don't do a lot of things because we don't have the money to do a lot of things, but they're autistic. They don't particularly want to go out and do a lot of things. They like staying home and they like, you know, having video games, and that's what we put a lot of our money into that we have extra. So, you know, I could try to drag them around to places and everything, but I don't think they would enjoy it. Whereas if I put the money into the video games and the toys that they want, they really enjoy that. So, now let's talk about abundance versus prosperity. Christopher Penczak has a problem with the word abundance. He says that you can have an abundance of bad things. But I say that the root, you know, and I've done some research on this, the root word of abundance is bon. It's a bon word, B-O-N. Abundance. Now, bon means good. So, it comes from the same root word as the word bounty. And bona fide, which is in good faith. Bonanza, which is treasure trove. Bonnie, which is beautiful. Bonus, which is something given in addition to what you expected to get. Boon, which is advantage. Bounteous, which is generous. And pro bono, which means for the good of. So bounty isn't just an overly much of anything, like he says. It's an overly amount of good things. Like abundance is when you're talking about, like, I grew a garden this year and I have an abundance of squash. I have an abundance of cucumbers. And, you know, you take that bounty, which is, you know, where the word, they have the same root word. You take that bounty and you share it. Because he's saying that abundance is something stagnant. That if you have a lot of something, the energy doesn't flow. And I'd say that's not true, because when you have an abundance of something, you're going to share it because you have what you need. So, you know, like if you grow food, you know, me and my parents share a garden, and there are sometimes when we have so many of these huge zucchinis that neither one of us can eat all of them, and so we give to the neighbor, and then they have zucchini. I've given some to my best friend because she loves zucchini, and she was blown away with how big these things are. And you know, we live in kind of a rural place, and so I've had, you know, coworkers at my last job. They would bring in tomatoes and say, you know, hey, anybody want some tomatoes? I've got, you know, this sack full, get as many as you want. Does anybody want some butternut squash? I've got too many. And I don't know that you can ever have too many butternut squash, but that's okay. So when we talk about abundance is, you know, for me, and you have to kind of, you know, there are words that some people just don't like, and that's fine. But if you look into what it means, then you're going to find that abundance means that you have a lot of something good. So a lot of cucumbers, and you can give some away. You can put them in your food. You can make delicious pickles. And if you have a lot and you make pickles, you can share pickles, you know. So it's not stagnant. It's something that you're going to share because it's something you know, if you're talking food, it's something, if you don't share, it's gonna go bad, and you're just hoarding something that's going to be disgusting in your refrigerator later on. So I don't necessarily agree with him when it comes to the definition of those two things. Alright, so in the situation of the tarot card, the devil, we must become the devil. He is free. He sits above. And that doesn't mean that we need to be better than those who are enslaved, but we need to realize that we're not chained down by these responsibilities. We took on these responsibilities, and so they are ours, and we could drop them just as quickly. I know a lot of people who have decided to live off the land, or they've gone off the grid, or all of that. That's a choice too. And it is maybe a hard choice for some people. But, you know, I think a lot of things are a hard choice. So, but you have to see that you do have choices. You're not chained down to anything. You have, you know, as many choices as you have resources. Alright, so little advice before I go, because I don't want this video going too long, and that is that remember that as above, so below. So if we do magic to bring prosperity, to bring abundance into our lives, we must do the work in the mundane world to make sure that we are living in accordance to our magic. So if you do a spell for prosperity and you have some extra, don't just go out and spend it on something dumb. You know, make sure you get the thing that you want and put some in the bank, or put it in an investment, or, you know, do something good with it, give it to charity. So we want to make sure that we are living in accordance with our magic. Alright, so that's how we're going to connect to abundance. Let me know how it goes for you in the comments down below. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you like it. Yay! And also make sure you're subscribed so that you can follow me on this journey of abundance and prosperity. And tomorrow we're going to be doing a little spell to rid limitations in our belief system. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Blessed be.